Oh, I don't know, no matter where you went. I remember another time we were driving from Cape Town up to Rwanda, and you have to go around the lake. And anyway, we got on the wrong road, and the road had a center ridge, so that after a while there was a hole in the gas tank, but it was barely dripping. And we decided we might as well go on and then turn around and go back because we couldn't go on from there. So we did, but anyway, you learn. And Dad said, anybody got any gum? And I don't know why we did, but we did. Somebody in the family had gum. And he took some gum and put on this little hole in the tank, and it helped. Kept us till we got more gas. Life is fun. And I remember once too, we were riding from Bujumbura up to Kigali, and from southern Congo area, and anyway, it was raining, and the road was really quite slick, and there were Africans running along saying, "Would you like a push?" Well, they wanted money, and Dad said, "No, my wife always pushes me over. We get there because she'll keep us on the road," and I could, but he didn't mind. We always did a lot of singing and reading on our safaris. When I would always take a book or two for the kids, and then we would sing. And you know the story of Maxie, and he was little, 3 or 4 years old, I don't know. He was tiny, and I said, "Max, what would you like to sing?" We were on this road, and he said, "I want the Jesus song." We tried every Jesus song we could think of, and he started crying, and he said, "You don't have the right one." We still tease him about if he's figured out which is the Jesus song. But moments, huh? Yeah. Anyway, well, they were good years, and the kids loved it too. You loved your mission experiences in general, didn't you? Because you learned the people and the... So, well, what we did learn were little things like if you sent out and bought eggs from the local people, they bring them back to you, put them in water. If they float, they're rotten. Then you don't buy them. But of course, they had no idea when they were laid. If they just go out and find some eggs, they'd be glad to get a penny or two, you know. Their lives were so simple. I remember another day we went out to a church way, I don't know, we walked a couple hours anyway. And we went by one hut, and Dad said, this is one of my workers lives here. And it was really kind of a mess. Then we went by another hut, and it was really pretty good, not well built. And he said, "I don't know who lives here, but it doesn't look like like the other one." So, but we went back and went into the house, and they would section them off with stuff they'd weave with grasses, and they'd have a room, and most of them were pretty neat and tidy, but some were pretty sloppy. Did you get into homes once in a while? And they weren't all alike, were they?
They were similar.
They usually like to have a room for their granary and stuff. Anyway, yeah. Well, 20 years is a long time. Not really. Just goes by in a hurry, day by day. I delivered a few babies in my garage on the floor. If they had trouble, they would come. They had a clinic there and they gave it up, and I didn't want the responsibility of a clinic. I had nothing to do. They didn't ask me to, so wives never got paid anyway. Oh, I remember we had a fellow who was in the around Getaway who was not mentally right, I'm sure. And he would come around. One day he came and he said, I'd like some bread, a mutsima. And so we gave him some bread and he threw it on the ground. He said, that's not bread. Well, they call their, what they cook, bread, and it's not, So he didn't want that. And one other day Dad was gone and I went in the kitchen and I made a lemon pie with a meringue and really it was quite beautiful. And I put it out on the porch to cool. And when I went back, it was gone. I thought, gone? What could happen to it? One of the workers came down the hill and he said, I saw your pie plate. It's up there beside the road. Well, apparently the guy had come along and found the plate, smashed my plate. He didn't like the sweetness of it. He wanted something different. And so it was gone. But anyway, it was just funny. So, how do you go day by day, huh? I think one of the big things for the kids, and they don't remember so much, but you know Eric Hare's stories? Well, one day Eric Hare came to the mission with some others, and we were going to have supper, and he said, I don't want any supper tonight. I just want to tell your kids some stories. So he went in the living room with the kids and told them all the stories that you read in the books. And I thought, isn't this wonderful? You'd never get him in your home in any other part of the world, because there'd be a million kids. And here we've got just 4 or 5 around here. But I always thought that people looked so regal in their long skirts and dressed well and walked. They were tall and thin, and they looked regal.